This is your English coach, Miss Nilima Chelaramani from Srimati L.P. Samani Vidya Bhavan, Adajan. This is the story from the book It So Happened. The story is Children at Work, written by Geeta Wolf, Anushka Ravishankar, and Harjit Singh. Before we start with part 2, we will just have the recap. Velu, an 11 years old boy, runs away from home. He wanders around for hours and gets on a train to Chennai without a ticket. He reached Chennai and was tired and hungry. He met Jaya, the rag picker, who called him roughly. Now we will read the second part and after that the explanation. Velu follows his friend through the crowded street to a big building. Behind the building there was a big garbage bin. Velu wonders why they all are there at all. He caught up with the girl as she was leaving the station. When they got to the road, Velu found that the vehicles kept coming and never stopped for anyone. Smoke and dust flew at him from all sides, making his head spin. They had to wait for a long time before they could find a gap to run through. Velu kept hesitating and the girl finally dragged him to the other side. What do you think you are doing? Grazing cows? If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, you will be chutney. Velu's heart was still beating fast. He looked back at the central station and the traffic speeding by. How had they managed to come through that? They walked along the side of the road under some huge signboards. Velu looked up at the pictures: banyans, car tires, pants, a woman holding a box. The writing was all in English, so he didn't know what it meant. Now the explanation. Velu ran after the girl as she was going to arrange food for him, and also he was new and unknown for that place. When they both were on the road, he saw many vehicles coming and going and were not stopping for anyone. He had never seen all this as he was from a small village. Smoke of the vehicle and dust and noise of the vehicle's horns filled headache to him. Because of traffic, he waited for getting gap in between to cross the road. Velu was hesitating to cross the road and Jaya was waiting for him next side of the road to come. What did she do, you know? She went back and pulled Velu with her next side of the road, and she was very angry with him and told him if he will stand in between the road, the vehicle will crush him. Velu's heart was beating fast. He looked back and he was not believing that he crossed the road. Now, they started walking on the road. When Velu was walking, he saw many signboards. The signboards were of advertisement like car tires, pen, and many more. Velu didn't understood that it was in the English. Now we'll read the textual passage. The girl turned on a white bridge and walked up. Velu stopped and peeped over the railing. Under him, the road ran into the city. In the distance, he could see huge buildings and towers and more roads. See that big building with the wall around it. If you are not careful, you will be soon counting bars there. The girl grinned and pointed at a huge building. Velu squinted and read the Tamil sign, Central Jail. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. You don't have to do anything. Just don't get caught. That's all. What does she mean? Velu wondered. Meanwhile, the girl was already heading down the bridge with a sack on her shoulder. What was in it? He had seen her putting plastic cups into the station. What are you carrying in that bag? Things, bottles, paper. Velu wondered what she was doing with them, but he felt shy to ask any more questions. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar and Velu bare feet burned. It was not like walking on a mud road. He was soaked with sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shed and kept up with the girl at the same time. She walked really fast. How far away was the food? He was in unreserved compartment where mostly ticket collectors don't come. As the compartment was full, he tried to sleep on the floor near the door, but couldn't as a group of men were playing cards next to him and were shouting all night. Now the textual next passage. Ah, what's new to town A? Called out a rough voice. Well opened his eyes. There were a lot of people standing around, but nobody was looking at him. Here, A. He turned around. Behind him was a girl around his own age, wearing a long banyan that came down to her knee. Her hair was stiff and brownish, and she had a huge sack on one shoulder. She was picking up dirty plastic cups from the floor and stuffing them into her sack. Why is she calling me? Thought Velu. And why is the girl wearing a banyan? No need to stare stupidly. What's your name? Velu, muttered Velu, looking away. So, Mr. Velu. Jaya was moving down the bridge with the sack on her shoulder. Velu was confused that what she was carrying in the sack. He asked her, and she replied that things, bottle and paper were there in the sack. But he could not ask her that what she will do with it. It was very hot and his feet burned as he was with bare feet. He was drenched with sweat. He was trying to walk in the shade and kept going on at the back of Jaya. After about an hour walk, they stopped in front of a big building. The sign on the building read Shri Rajrajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. Velu read it as it was in Tamil, like signboard on the central jail. Velu looked at the huge hall and the crowd of the people inside. He asked Jaya if they were going to eat there. She gave him only the hopes. She led him to a garbage bin behind the hall. Let's read the textual passage. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the pile fighting for a banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed around their legs. There was a rotten smell in the air. The girl picked up a squishy banana and held it out to Velu. Here's your food. Velu was shocked. Are we going to eat this leftover? Che, why do you think I am a dog? I only take untouched food. Here's some more catch. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. Come on, hero, eat it. You think I like it? I told you I'll find you something to eat. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. You had better eat what you get until you have your own money. Velu hesitated, but his stomach squeezed him again. He gulped down the banana and vada. His stomach felt better immediately. He could have eaten at least 10 times more, but the girl could find only one more banana, which she ate herself. Velu was shocked to see a huge garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the heap of the rubbish fighting for banana leaf. The girl picked up a crushed banana and gave it to Velu. He didn't understood and asked her that whether to eat this leftover food. The girl disagreed. She said that she ate only untouched food. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. However, he was too hungry to refuse any food. So he ate the banana as well as the vada. The girl could find only one more banana, which she ate herself. Now to the textual passage. It was too early. They have only eaten tiffin. If you are still hungry, you will have to wait for them to finish lunch. You can wait if you want. I have to work. I am going. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and threw it into her sack. Then she walked off. Velu panicked. He realized that if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was and what to do. It was better to stick to her. She seemed to know her way around. He ran after her again. "Hey," he called. He did not even know the girl's name. "Hey, what's your name?" he asked, hurrying behind her. She stopped and turned around. "Oh, so you have been following me around without even knowing my name." "Jaya, I'm not following you." "What then? Who got you food? Can I come with you?" "Where are you going?" "Come if you want. This bag is full. I have to go home to get another bag." Let's have the explanation. The girl picked up a crushed banana and gave it to Velu. She told him that this was only their snack and if he is still hungry, he had to wait till lunch. But she will not wait as she wants to go for her work. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap. She said that she had to do her work. Seeing her going, Velu panicked. He followed her. Then Velu asked Jaya's name and asked her if he can go with her. She told her that she is going home to take another sack to collect the bottle, papers and things. Here we come to end part 2. Let's go with part 3. There is a row of huts near some dirty puddles. Outside one of the huts, Jaya dumped her sack. Grateful to his friend, Velu think of the days ahead. Jaya and Velu walked along the road for half an hour until they came to the bridge across to a dirty trickle of water. "We are in a Triplicane now. See, that's Buckingham Canal," said Jaya. Velu stared. This was a canal. Near some puddle of water was a row of the strangest hut he had ever seen. They were built out of all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. They stood crookedly and looked as if they would fall any moment. "Is this where you live? These houses are strange," said Velu. "In our village, the houses are made up of mud and palm leaves." Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside. Then she picked up an empty one. "Let's go." She turned to Velu and gave him a shove. "At least help me now. Here, wear this and come with me." She threw him a pair of old shoes without laces and pushed a sack and a stick into his hand. Velu was confused. What work did she want him to do with these things? Now, with the explanation. They walked on for a half an hour. They came to a bridge across a dirty stream of water. They came across to a row of huts built out of wood, plastic, and sheep. It was Jaya's village. Jaya called it Buckingham Canal. This were the strangest hut Valu had ever seen. Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside the hut. Then she picked up an empty one. She gave Valu a pair of old shoes and also a sack and stick into his hand. Valu was still confused that the things like sack and stick, what he had to do with it. Now with the textual passage. The only work he had ever done was on the landowner's farm, weeding and taking cows onto the graze. Are there any farm in the city? He asked Jaya. She laughed and thumped her stick on the ground. Farms? There are no farmers here. We are rag pickers. Rag pickers? See my sack full of things I collected. Collected from where? Asked Valu. From rubbish bins. Where else? You collect rubbish? Valu had never heard of such a thing. Blockhead. It's not any rubbish. Only paper, plastic, glass, such things. We sell it to Jam Bazaar Jaggu. Valu was puzzled. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish. But why would anyone want to buy rubbish? Who is Jam Bazaar Jaggu? Why is buying all this? You think he buys it for shows? He sells it to a factory. Come on, don't have time to waste like you. Valu did not move. He hadn't run away and come to this new place to dig through garbage bins. Jaya poked at him with her stick. Look here, she shouted. If someone gets there before us, we don't get anything. Don't just stand there posing. Big hero, I'm trying to help you. You filled your stomach today? Well, he scratched his head and sighed. I will do it for now, he thought, until I find a better job. Now the explanation. As in the village, he had only done the work was on landowner's farm, was removing grass and taking cow out to graze. Valu asked Jaya that if any farm are there in the city. She laughed and stamped the stick on the ground and told him that here there are no farms. They are rag pickers. He asked what are rag pickers. She showed her sack full of things she collected. Jaya explained that the only work she could give to Valu if he wanted any children like collected papers, plastic, glass, etc. Then they sell them to Jaggu of Jam Bazaar and Jaggu sell them to factory and shouted her that not to waste time and come with her to her work. Valu did not move. He was confused. He thought that he had never come here from his village to dig garbage bins. Jaya poked at him with her stick. She shouted, if someone will get the things before us, they will not get anything. Don't just waste time and move. She's only trying to help him. Valu had no option. However, he felt he must do it until he find a better and a new job. Difficult words and phrases with their meanings are given. Here we come to an end of the chapter. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.